everybody, to Blissfully Aware, the show in which me and my friends discuss what's going on in fandom and nerd news in general. I'm Bliss, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, JD. Hi, JD.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. It's crazy.
It has been crazy. It has been...
We're finally getting some rain in Texas.
Oh, nice. I heard a funny Texas joke recently. You want to hear it?
Yes, of course.
Since winter's coming in Texas, this will be a funny one for you. What's the difference between taxes and Texas?
I don't know.
Taxes can pay for a functioning electrical grid.
Oh, it hurts because it's true. Have you heard the new Fall Out Boy song, the We Didn't Start the Fire cover they did?
No.
I guess it's not a cover, it's a continuation.
Oh, God. Oh, I'll have to look into it.
They did an updated version, and they mentioned the Texas power grid in it. And it's so funny, because I was listening to it with a client, and we were both like, this sucks. And then that line dropped, and we were like, this rocks!
That's funny.
So, even in our worst, we're still very proud to be Texas. We have the best, worst electrical grid in the whole country. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's pretty rivaled by California, so.
That's true.
So what are we looking at today?
So, JD, we were due for a fun episode. And what is more fun than judging whether or not other people are assholes?
Oh.
So I scoured the internet and I found us some fandom related Am I the Asshole posts.
Yes.
We're gonna read those today.
I'm so excited about having a fun thing to talk about rather than all these bummers.
Yeah. No, we were due. I needed this. You needed this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the audience needed this. So, do you want to just jump into it? I think we're gonna go least cringy to most cringy. Because the last one made me want to throw myself out of a boat.
I need it.
Okay, so, am I the asshole for asking my partner to give up a fandom? My partner, 27-year-old female... Oh, I'm sorry. My 27-year-old female partner, 26-year-old female, of 6 years, and recent fiancé, is a member of the, quote, Taylor Swift is gay fandom.
Okay, so we have a lesbian who headcanons Taylor Swift as gay. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. For context, people, or as the community calls themselves, gaylers, think she's dated Karlie Kloss, and her songs are dropping hints that she's gay because she allegedly can't come out of the closet without outing other celebs. Now, I'm not a Swiftie at all, but I have a hard time with this because as a lesbian, I think A, posting, quote, evidence that someone is gay online is invasive, and B, calling someone's past or current relationships, quote, beards, is super shitty. I'm not into celebrity worship culture at all. I actually can't stand Taylor Swift or her music, but I do think they're entitled to their private lives. She has a Twitter account dedicated to this, but she barely uses it. However, I can't help overhearing her TikTok dashboard, and the things people say on there are so nasty, and it really upsets me that my partner is involved in that sort of community. Here's where I may or may not be the asshole. I asked my girlfriend if she would step back from the conspiracy theory side of the Taylor Swift fandom. I'm not asking her to change her thoughts or leave the lesbian side of the fandom, and I've never asked anything like this of her before. Both of us respect the other's autonomy and private internet life, but I'm having a hard time with the ethics of this fandom, so I asked. She said no, and we had a huge fight about it. We've kind of had a history of fighting, but mainly because we have completely different emotional reactions. I shut down, she latches on more, and it kind of just cycles until we calm down. But the topic of our fights have never really been that serious, or have never been unresolvable. We have good communication otherwise, and agree on pretty much everything. We got engaged a few weeks ago, and have been together since college. Eventually, we reached an agreement that I would feel a lot better if she didn't interact with the posts that people called beards or posted photo evidence of being gay. I think this is where my main issue lies. Even though I think the basis of the community is a bit weird, that's not my business. I'm just asking her to not do this because I think it's weird. However, she backtracked on our compromise. She thinks this is too controlling, whereas I think this is a relatively small ask over something I genuinely have ethical concerns over. We're about to end our engagement over it. I think we're far too old to be arguing over fandoms, but I'm having trouble letting it go, and so is she. Am I the asshole?
Wow, this one's hard.
Yeah, we're starting with a tricky one.
Yeah, that one's hard. Gosh. What was the Reddit consensus on that one?
So it looks like everybody's pretty much in agreement that they're not the asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Mainly because I'm like, okay, but why do you care so much about what your significant other is doing on the internet as long as, like, it's not harming, like, because Taylor Swift is never going to see any of those. And Taylor Swift's never going to date your fiance. Like, is it unethical as a whole? Yeah. Is it unethical for your individual fiance to be doing it? Like, and is she doing it, or is she just interacting with the people who are doing it? Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like, yeah, it's unhealthy and probably a red flag to, have a conspiracy theory that you're engaged in, like, 100% of the time. But that's something where it's like, okay, that's part of your girlfriend. If if you're marrying your fiance and they have a conspiracy theory that you know about, you are signing up for that conspiracy theory. So, like, I think I would have to go with everyone sucks here.
Yeah, I'm not big into music fandoms, and Swifties take it to a whole new level. I didn't realize there was a "Does Taylor Swift is gay" movement. But I guess people are going to be nosy. I'm not even going to call it curious. Nosy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think of this as I think of this on the same level as, like, the Tin Hatters in the Supernatural fandom. They can go way too far. Like, and honestly, like, it's kind of like, you listen to some of these conspiracy theories and you're like, your eyebrows are on the ceiling. You have to peel your eyebrows off the ceiling because it's crazy. Like, the stuff that they come up with is just like, I hope you don't go to conventions and say this shit to people.
They do.
Oh my God.
They go to conventions and say this shit to other people.
Oh my God. Like,
oh my God. Misha
so
Collins' wife is a beard for him.
Like, that's just so awkward. I mean, God. And if Taylor Swift was gay, right? Like, I think OP has a point. None of that is her business.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely none of that is anyone's business. The idea of speculating on someone else's sexuality just because they're famous is so uncomfortable. Like, I understand curiosity. I do not understand the nosy. You know what I mean? Like that little, I wonder if they're gay. And then you move on with your life. You don't create an entire TikTok timeline, like a For You page that all it talks about is Taylor Swift being gay. Like,
That's taking it too far.
Yeah,
It's taking it
you
way
know?
too far. Like, if you want to suppose that Taylor is in relationships just to have beards with whoever this sports ball player is she's with right now.
Somebody said his name to me literally today, and I could not tell you who he is. I don't care.
I don't care
Yeah.
at all. I'm sorry, Swifties. Don't come for me. Y'all are scary.
For real. Like, you know what? I read a study that was talking about how like somebody did like a little thing that was like listening to Taylor Swift music can have a positive effect on your mental health. And like, don't get me wrong, she's got some bops. I know because my bird is a Swiftie. So I will put, yeah, I put Taylor Swift on. I put a Taylor Swift playlist on like when I leave for work some days because my bird likes Taylor Swift. So every once in a while, I get a whiff, you know, of Taylor Swift, like when I come home, and you know, I tell the Echo to shut up.
Now, JD, you are going to have to give us an update when you have to sit down and have an intervention with your bird and tell them that you're not comfortable with them being in the Is Taylor Swift Gay fandom.
The good news is the bird hasn't figured out how to use TikTok.
That's good.
Yeah, and he
That's
doesn't have
healthy.
he doesn't like have his own phone or anything, so we don't have to worry about that yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not until they make bird phones.
Well, you know, he's not getting a bird phone. He'd break it.
So we're agreeing not the asshole.
Yeah, you know what? I'm retracting my statement that everybody sucks, and I'm saying not the asshole.
Because I'm saying, you're allowed to think they're the asshole. I think they're not the asshole. I think they're setting boundaries. I do think it's tricky in setting a boundary because they're clearly uncomfortable and they're trying to compromise with their partner. The fact that their partner is, like, upset about it.
Okay, so I don't think it's a boundary. I think it's more like I am voicing my expectations for ethical behavior. So like say I don't want to date a mafia guy, right?
Mhm.
But I find out that my boyfriend is a mafia guy. I can't set a boundary that tells him not to be a mafia guy because I can't control his actions. I can say, you know what, my expectations were that I wasn't going to date a mafia guy, and the choice is on me not to date the mafia guy. Like I have to choose, you know, to break up because my mafia guy boyfriend is not going to you know, leave the mafia because I set an expectation that created a boundary around him instead of around me. You know what I mean?
True.
So I think OP just ultimately would have to accept the fact that her girlfriend is a galer and would have to adjust accordingly. Either compromise your you know, make an exception or compromise your ethical integrity or break up with your girlfriend.
That's sad. That would be so sad to break up with your girlfriend over Taylor Swift. Over not even Taylor Swift, over a Taylor Swift conspiracy.
Okay, but there are worse conspiracies, you know, to break up over. I mean, obviously people break up over, you know, their husband gets into QAnon, or like they suddenly believe that they're being gang stalked, or you know, whatever. It's are gaylers mentally ill in the same fashion? Probably not, but you know, it's the same kind of deal. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, this is something that I literally have no control over, and now I just have to figure out how to break it to my parents that I broke up with my girlfriend because of a Taylor Swift conspiracy theory.
So sad.
Yeah.
So sad. My heart goes out to you.
Yes. I'm sorry, OP. I hope you broke up, and I hope you you found somebody who's not into Taylor Swift.
Okay, next one.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom that I hate Harry Potter and to let me live my own life? As my title suggests, my mom is a huge Harry Potter nut. She and my dad actually met in a Harry Potter IRC. Like Discord, but for old people.
Oh my god.
In the early 2000s. And got married and had kids. From day one, they decided to embarrass us for life by naming us after some Harry Potter and Star Wars characters. Oh, that sucks for them.
That's really shitty. But this is also coming from the person who was like, if I ever accidentally had a baby, I'd name it Hannibal Lecter.
It's honestly been hell. I have a stupid name, and since we were little, my parents have forced stuff like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel movies, etc. down our throats. Everything is about dragons and magic and blah blah blah. I'm so sick of it. Every birthday, every holiday, everything is just organized around fandom. So, just like every Christmas, the days leading up to Christmas, we have to sit down every night and watch Harry Potter movies. It's so fucking boring. I can usually get away with knitting or drawing on my iPad during this, but this year my mom was like, let's just have a technology and distraction-free night every night. I arranged to go over to my friend Missy's house instead for 2 nights. Missy's family is normal and likes things a normal amount. My mom got really mad and started talking about how it's a family tradition and how I'm basically rejecting her, and went on her whole thing about how you wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Harry Potter. I finally had it and yelled, nobody cares that you were a big name in the Harry Potter fan club. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't like Star Wars. I hate Marvel movies. They're all so boring. Please just let me have my own interests. I couldn't help it. I started crying just because I was so frustrated because everything always has to be about Harry Potter. And now we're all older and they started doing Game of Thrones. Everything is centered around some kind of movie or TV show or book series. Just once, I want my family to band around something that doesn't have to do with media or these nerdy things. We live in Utah, where we have like 5 national parks, and even though I ask every year for my birthday, I've never been to the Arches. Well, my sister called me saying that Mom was angry and to just come home and stop with the theatrics. I told her that I'm sick of having all this old nerd stuff crammed down my throat, and just once I want to have a normal time watching normal Christmas movies and not having to pause for lightsaber battles. Am I the asshole?
I think it is very obvious that Anakin here is not the asshole. I'm so sorry. This is a great way to make it so that your kids never speak to you ever again.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, like this is a great way to make sure that you never ever have a relationship with your children again in your whole life.
Let your kid join a sports team and go to their sports ball games. This kid clearly wants to do non-nerdy things with their life. And I just, if your kid is not into what you're into and they've expressed that, it's okay to support them in things that they're into. This is reverse bullying of like sports parents bullying their nerdy children.
Yeah, like man, like this is my gosh, some parents you just want to like kick them in the face and just be like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, like I was never like really super into things that my parents were into. Like, and my parents totally supported me even when I had really weird like interests. Gosh, they support me now and I have really weird interests. But man, like just accept that your kid thinks Harry Potter is cringe. Like, and not only that, I'm sorry, but it's totally normal for kids to not be interested in things that their parents are into, especially when they're teenagers. They're like, no, that's not cool. Like, my parents like that. I don't want to be like my parents. Like, that is a completely understandable reaction for your child to have. And like dismissing, you not supporting your kid in their interests as theatrics, that's the asshole behavior there. Like, I feel really bad for this kid. Like, how do you not hold some kind of resentment if your parents are making everything about like some weird made up story that some turf wrote?
Oh, absolutely. And the consensus is not the asshole. So, obviously.
Yeah.
But all of that aside, like, it's gotta suck having a nerdy name. Like, all the kids out there named Khaleesi.
Ah, that's rough.
Or I knew a kid named Legolas.
No, shut up. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would die. I would name my kid Gimli before I'd name him Legolas.
He went by Lego.
No.
Which I would argue is better.
That is way better. That's way better. Okay, like if I knew a kid named Lego, I would just be like, oh my god. Like, I would not be able to contain myself though. I'm a bad person, and I would just every morning I would have to be like, Lego my Echo. Like, oh man, I'm a bad person.
Well, JD, you're gonna like this next one then.
Okay, like lay it on me because I'm ready. I feel bad for little Anakin. Let's move on.
Speaking of naming your children after a series.
Oh no.
Am I the asshole for calling my sister a freak after she named her kids Sam and Dean? I'm sure most of y'all have heard of the CW show Supernatural, about two brothers who fight demons and monsters. My sister was a huge fan while the show was airing. Engaged in all areas of the fandom like an insane superfan. I never really got into it like she did, but was still involved in fandom spaces. Anyway, no beating around the bush. She was hugely into Wincest, the romantic and sexual relationship between the two brothers. Wrote fic, edited YouTube videos, etc. She even made like a Wincest Tumblr series with her ex-girlfriend role-playing as the two characters. So you can imagine my shock when she gave birth to twins this past month and announced their names as Sam and Dean. I was a little taken aback, but hoped somewhere that it was a joke. They have 3 older kids who also have fandom names, not Supernatural necessarily, but across fandoms. And so I wasn't really holding up hope. I called her up and asked what the boys' names really were, and she informed me they were in fact called Sam and Dean. I told her it was really fucking weird, and she told me it didn't matter because they weren't real and she didn't actually condone incest. I called her a freak and said it wasn't normal or fair to the boys. What if they found out, you know? She told me I was overreacting and to either support her bringing the babied into the world or leave her alone. I left it at that, and Mom later texts me to ask what was going on. She knows my sister used to ship the brothers, so I told her, and she was quiet, but ended up telling me that it wasn't the same, and I needed to apologize because she was upset. I disagree. I think her choice was horrible, and she deserves to feel shamed for it. So, am I the asshole?
Yes, LP, you are the asshole. Yes. Yes,
like, you
OP.
don't get to decide what other people name their children.
Yeah, yes, OP,
even
you
if
are the
it's
asshole.
super cringy.
Because, like, first of all, Sam and Dean are totally normal names. This is not like naming your child Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-mm.
Sam and Dean are completely normal names. No one is going to assume, one day you're going to be a 40-year-old Sam, and then somebody's going to be like, hi, what's your name? And you're going to say, my name's Sam. And no one is going to crack a joke about Supernatural, because when you're 40 years old, no one's going to know what the fuck Supernatural even is anymore, because it will be forgotten to the annals of history. Here's hoping. Don't laugh at me. I'm trying. I'm speaking it into the universe, okay? Or like, like you'll show up at a party and somebody will like, oh yeah, hi, this is my friend Sam and his brother Dean, and somebody will be like, oh, what was that one show? I remember that one show, and you'll be like, oh yeah, Supernatural. My mom was a big fan. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, my mom was thinking about us fucking. Like, no, that's not what was going on. Like this isn't like, oh, I'm forcing my fandom attitudes on my children,
I'm
like,
living out my fantasies through my children.
through my children.
Now I'm
That
gonna
is
make these infants kiss.
That's so not happening there. Like, and OP knows that that's not happening there. Like, OP knows that. Yeah. They've got to be really fucking weird to assume that their own flesh and blood sister would fantasize about infants smooching. That's so weird.
I'm
OP is a freak.
This woman
OP
making
is a
her
freak.
infants kiss.
OP is a freak. OP is a freak because OP thought of it first.
That's true. OP did think of it first and assumed that it would happen in real life.
Yeah, OP is the freak because OP is the one who thought of that. I'm sorry, but OP really, really, really needs to reconsider, like, their priorities and, like, what they're willing to believe that their kin is capable of. Like if you, oh my god, how do you even imagine that would be something your sibling would do? Like, is that something that like that OP would do? Like would OP, like,
the
I don't know,
call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, OP, like, what do you want to tell us? Like, would you be, if you named your kids after some pair that you shipped, like, would you be thinking about little baby smooching? Like, that's weird. I'm sorry, but the fact that you even thought that was a possibility is, like, absolutely freaky.
OP didn't mention that, they have a son and a daughter named Draco and Hermione.
Right. Like, oh my god. Like, jeez. Like, what is OP? Do you have a confession to make or something? Like, oh my gosh.
That's for a different Reddit page.
Holy crap. Like, and, like, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna have, like, fandom named kids, like Sam and Dean, you gotta have like some kind of sense of humor about shit like that too.
I want to know, like, what the other kids' names are, though. Is it like,
if it's Obi-Wan,
is it like, Anakin, Snape, Khaleesi, Sam, and Dean? Right.
Like,
people are like
I can forgive Sam and Dean. But if you're out there naming your kid Obi-Wan or something, like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of a mean thing to do to your kid.
Oh yeah. Fucking just welcome the bullies right into your home.
Like, I would totally name my kid Hannibal, but that's I'm not having kids, so I don't really have to worry about it. Like, I don't have to worry about being the a-hole because, you know what? I'm never having that opportunity, so thank God.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about it. I'll just name my dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, my dog is named after a Teen Wolf character.
Oh, that's Roy Styles. Oh my god, I didn't even make that connection. I
just realized that I did do that.
I didn't even make that connection. My dog's named something totally normal. Like, my dog is literally just named Mochi. That's like the most bland ass dog name that you could possibly have, but it really fits.
It's so cute.
Like, what else was I gonna name her? Was I gonna name her like Padme or something? Absolutely not. I don't like Star Wars.
I was a Star Trek girly.
See, but like, I would have had to name her Janeway, and she's just
I was just thinking Janeway.
She's just not a Janeway, Like if I had like a I don't know, like a bulldog or something, I'd totally name her Janeway. And like, if I had a boy, it would be easy because I could just name him Picard. But you know, but anyway, so yeah, I think OP is the asshole for that one. OP is a freak and an asshole. My judgment is made.
Yeah. Okay. This last one makes me want to die.
Oh my god, I'm so ready. Like, lay it on me. I'm so ready.
And maybe, I'm just going to preface, it makes me want to die maybe because of my own personal hang-ups. But it does make me want to throw myself into the ocean.
Do you think like my personal hang-ups will make me want to throw myself into the ocean?
You know, I don't know, JD, but we're going to find out.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Am I the asshole for making fun of my girlfriend for writing fan fiction and claiming it's actual writing?
Yeah, you're already the asshole. I'm sorry.
Oh, just wait.
Okay, right.
My girlfriend Abby, female 31, and I, male 33, have been together for a few months, and this Easter I was going to introduce her to my family. We haven't moved in together yet. Abby is quite smart. She has a PhD and works in her field. I only have a BA, so you can imagine my surprise when hot and smart women wanted to date me. Anyway, I digress. Abby's passion is writing, although she's never allowed me to read anything she's wrote. She dreams of writing a book and says she's practicing and trying to draft things. One day, I was staying over and fell asleep, and she went to her office to write. When I woke up, I peered over her shoulder when she was writing and saw names that sounded familiar. I asked her about this, and sure enough, she admitted to writing fanfiction. Apparently, she already wrote 100K fanfiction and is working on her third one. She says it's writing practice, and she loves it. I told her it's cringy, and if she was serious about her book, she'd write it by now, because she's pretty much already wrote 2 books, if only they weren't fanfiction. She got silent and told me to leave her alone. When I introduced her to my family, I mentioned she had a PhD. My brother and sister got impressed and asked about it. Abby tried to tell them, but I interjected and told them not to be impressed because she wastes her time writing silly fanfiction, so I don't know how she even got her doctorate. It was meant to be a joke, but Abby was angry. She called me an asshole. She wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day and asked me to drive her home. I tried to come in, but she told me she wanted to be alone and write her fanfiction. I told her she was childish, but left anyway. I haven't heard back from her since then, and I told my sister, and my sister agreed with Abby. I tried to call Abby, but she texted me with asshole and nothing else. My sister thinks I owe Abby an apology, but I don't think I did anything wrong. And yet, Abby's annoyed. Was I really the asshole here?
Wow.
Right, right into the ocean.
Right, yeah. I mean,
let the waves take me.
Wow. The whole man. Just throw out the whole man. Just right in the trash, right in the dumpster. I need whole man garbage services here. Yes, the whole man.
Yeah,
Man, Abby super dodged a bullet here.
Oh yeah. No, I hope Abby finds somebody else with a PhD who also writes fan fiction.
Yeah.
And they have little babies, and they name them Sam and Dean. They're very happy together.
Yeah, yeah. You know what, Abby, live your dreams. Write your Raylo fan fiction. Because we know it's Raylo.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Get that shit published and have it turned into a movie.
Yeah, honestly, like just shave the serial numbers off of your Raylo fanfic, Abby, and get that shit out there because pump it right into my veins. I've never seen those Star Wars movies, but I will read every Raylo fic.
I can figure out what's happening via context.
You know what? Raylo fanfics are so like Raylos have their finger on the pulse of what a contemporary person wants in a romance novel. I am convinced. So it doesn't matter that Raylo happened in canon or whatever. That doesn't matter. That does not matter whatsoever, because Raylo fan fictions are always like some crazy AU where, like, you know, like the dynamic is sort of similar but like not really, and like it's plausible to be its own thing. Like that's why what's her face, Allie Hazelwood or whatever, like she does so well, because it's Raylo but it's not Raylo, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I am fully convinced that every Raylo fanfic is just better than whatever the Star Wars movie is. It has to be.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Like
sorry, Star Wars fans. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about your films.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm sorry about what happened to your films, but I'm here for the Raylo. Yeah. like I'm also here for the Finpo. And in fact, lay it on me, but oh, and the Finray. I really do like Finray. Yeah.
Finray Poe. That's good.
Oh. You know what? If anybody has any like Finray Poe like recommendations, I will take those, because that's yeah.
JD has needs.
I do. I have needs. I've seen none of those movies, but I really enjoy the fanfic. So, but man, truly, how does this guy not see himself as an asshole? Like, how do you not look at yourself in the mirror and go, wow, I completely discounted the fact that my girlfriend has a PhD by denigrating her fan fiction? Like, oh, I don't know how she got her PhD. She spends all of her time being a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Like, are you are you serious? Because holy shit, you don't even have a PhD. What does that say about you?
I would have turned around and left the house and just called an Uber.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was thinking
left.
that. I was like, oh my god, you got a ride home from him? So, you know, honestly, oh my god, that really does make me want to just throw someone down a set of stairs here.
Yeah, no, I feel real bad for her. I hope she's okay.
You know what? I feel good for her because she dodged that bullet. I feel really good for her because at least she found out. You know what I mean? And like she
That's
found out that he's a total fucking asshole. And like she only met the family once, you know, like that's the only time she had to meet the family. I am, you know what? I feel bad for the family because they know that their guy, their son, brother, whatever, is a fucking half-wit. I mean, not that they didn't already know because they grew up with him, but, you know, man, he just messed up, like, the best thing he probably ever had in his life. He's never gonna get a PhD girlfriend who is into weird, kinky Raylo sex ever again.
Oh, you know she was into some weird shit.
You know
it. My Gaylor hat.
You know it. And like they hadn't moved in or anything. So like he didn't know. She probably has some suitcase full of crazy shit under her bed.
Those like fucking bad dragons.
Yeah, she's got like the alien egg ovipositor thing. Like she's got the good shit.
Yeah.
Man, he missed out.
He missed out.
He did. God, she's got like that fake cum and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
The like nodding dildos.
Yeah. He could have had that.
He lost it.
He did. Wow, he really fucked up.
Yep.
He needs to that post needs to be on the Today I Fucked Up.
It is it's obvious that he was considered the asshole in that scenario.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to point that out, but I will.
Well, it's Reddit, so, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, how did you enjoy our fun little romp through Reddit?
I like that. It's nice to get away from the sad things.
Yeah, it is nice to have a break.
Yeah, from the wild, sad, craziness of fandom.
Instead, we're gonna get the just wild craziness of fandom.
And to anyone who has named their child something from fandom, and they grew up with it, like how, like, I know this is kind of like a really niche thing to ask, but like, man, if you do have like a Legolas or, you know, a Gimli or like a Anakin, like I need to know how they feel about their name.
I want to know how they feel about that property.
Yeah, like how do they feel about their name? How do they feel about the property that it came from? Cuz like I was named after someone, like a person, and like she's sort of famous. And like I'm pretty ambivalent. I really love aspects of, but I, you know, in terms of like of her, I'm totally ambivalent. So, but yeah, like I don't know, I'm like just super curious about like how kids feel about stuff like that, you know, like cuz it seems to me that, you know, if you have a healthy relationship with not just your child, but um with the intellectual property, then it shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
a problem. But obviously those parents who named their kid like Anakin or whatever, obviously they have an unhealthy obsession with this media, and that that's become a problem that's like come
Right.
between them and their child.
No, it's definitely a shame in that scenario.
Yeah.
And I still say get that kid into some sports ball.
For real.
And
Go
you know what?
hiking.
That's a fandom. Sports is a fandom.
Yeah, sports is a fandom. And like as much as sport ball people like don't like to think about it like that, it is.
So you could very easily get into it. It's, you know, gateway.
Mhm. Yeah. Like like just get into hiking, get into the national park scene. Start bird watching. Bird watching is a fandom.
I could see that.
Yeah, bird
They're
watching is
famous
totally a fandom.
birds.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Like
Yeah.
my boss and I are constantly talking about like the birds that we've seen while on our hikes and stuff. It's
I
like
see it. I
oh,
see it.
I'm gonna go out and there's in May there's trees in the park that I walk through on my hikes. There's trees that bloom and the orioles really love them. So I go out and
Oh.
look for the orioles. So, you know,
You
it's
have
just a
such
thing.
a wholesome hobby.
Oh my God. Like, okay, that's like the craziest thing about me is that like if you know me in real life, I am like one of the most wholesome people like you'll ever meet. Like I put up a really good front on the internet that I'm a complete and total like degenerate freak, but in actuality, like if you meet me in real life, I'm like ridiculously wholesome.
Meanwhile, I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Up front where I'm very sweet and ooh woo, but deep down, I'm a filthy monster.
Hey, we've all got to have our the Batman to our Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But I think we talked about the thing, JD.
I think we did. I think we did a good job.
Do you have a happy?
I do. Oh my gosh, my happy happened today.
Oh.
And it actually has something to do with the alter ego of real life versus online life. So it's a nice little segue. So today I was at my job, and I work with the public. In fact, I work with the public. I work with a lot of just a wide array of people. Um, and today this individual came up to my area, and I have this big cork board, and it has all kinds of stuff on it. It has like drawings, it has like our work schedule, it has uh, little things that little kids have gifted me. It's got Pokemon cards on it. It's got little doodles that my coworkers have done. Well, I put on it a New Year's card that Crad made me. Okay, like Crad made all of us New Year's cards. this year, and I pinned it up on the board because it is safe for work, for the most part anyway. And today, this individual came up and pointed at it and said, "Oh my God, who drew that? That's amazing." And I was like, "Oh, that one? That came from my illustrator. We've made a comic together. Like we're working on like a whole nother project and everything." And this person was like, "Wow, like that art is just like so amazing," and blah blah blah, and like just going off about how amazing this art was and like how absolutely brilliant the shading is, and like it's so crazy good, and wow, like you made a comic together. And I'm just like, yeah, yeah, and they're like, "Is it available?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but like, I kind of like to keep those things separate, you know, because
Mm,
we make weird comics, you know."
right.
And this person, like the combat boots, spike studded leather jacket, half head shaved, like it's like they're from the demographic, you know what I mean? That of
Hmm.
like, they're from our demographic. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry. You're among friends." Uh and they say, Hunter x Hunter. I'm
Hmm.
like, "Yeah." And they go, Hisoka?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you can see the comic." Like, so I pulled up the itch page, and I was like, "This is where it is. It's available on itch." Like, they were like, "Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome, man." I was like, "Thanks." Like, here I am literally, I'm standing there. I'm so cute in my little pastel like headband and like my really cute little pins on my work uniform and like and I'm like, I don't know, I look like a Barbie girl. And there I am, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, here's my Nazi exploitation comic," and like, oh,
Wholesome.
wholesome, very
Wholesome
wholesome.
JD.
It was very interesting because it's just like, oh damn, I am like the cutest little creature at my job, and and I just shared my Nazi exploitation comic with this random customer.
Well, I hope they buy it and like it.
Yeah, I'm if they buy it, they're definitely gonna like it. But it was like a code. It was like a code word. It was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, you've unlocked the code."
Well, my happy this week is super cheesy.
Oh, I'm gonna love it though. I really want to hear you're happy.
For Halloween, I'm gonna be Barbie, like everybody
Yay!
else. So, every year for Halloween, I dress Styles up, and I take a picture of him and I put it on the internet.
Oh my God, is Styles gonna be Ken?
Styles is Ken,
Yes!
and I had a little photo shoot, he and I, so that we have photos to put up on Halloween
Oh my
together, and we're so cute. It's so stinking
God!
adorable.
Oh my
It was so funny. He was running around. I got him a little tie-dye hoodie and a
God!
little handkerchief that's the skating fabric print,
Yes.
and he just was so happy in his little outfit. And then he got too warm because it's Texas. I had to take his
Yeah.
little hoodie off.
Aw.
Um, but he's been wearing the bandana all week. He's been so happy.
I demand that you text me pictures of this.
I'll send you a picture, right?
Oh my God.
You
Oh
can
my
have a
God.
nice live reaction.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so ready. Oh my gosh. He's so cute. Oh, I love your Barbie dress.
Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh! And the hoodie is like the right texture and everything. Oh
Yeah,
my
that was a
god.
fun find.
Oh, Styles. He's the cutest Ken.
He is
Oh,
Knuff.
he is Kenough.
So
Oh my god, I love him.
I was very happy. That made my whole week.
Aw, I love it. It's perfect.
But yeah, I think otherwise that'll do it for us this week. If you'd like to find us online, you can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Blissfullyshow. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi, hello. Give us a like, a comment, a subscribe. I don't know. You can weigh in on what the verdict was if you disagree on any of these Am I the Assholes?
Better not disagree on the last one.
No. If you disagree on the last one, I do want to hear about it, but you better have a good explanation.
Yeah, you better be able to be able to explain that one, because I will be upset. Abby deserves better.
And then until next time, bye.
Bye.
See, my mom was just a hippie.